How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Venezuelan BTC miners forced to halt operations amid anti-corruption investigation. So if you remember, we covered where Venezuela had some issues with the oil industry, and now this is an issue for the crypto industry, which is why we covered it, because the person was involved. The authorities of Venezuela have reportedly urged local Bitcoin miners to temporarily halt operations while inspecting a major corruption scheme that could have drained up to $20 billion. It wasn't a crypto scheme, it was an oil scheme. To clarify that point, people who are part of the President Maduro's inner circle are suspected of orchestrating the crime and involved in the national oil and gas company Petróleos de Venezuela. And the authorities have also required other cryptocurrency businesses, including exchanges and payment platforms with Suncrisp licenses, to cease operations during the investigation. Posts on social media platforms have recently revealed that the National Anti-Corruption Police has started investigating domestic Bitcoin mining firms to find any links between them and any corruption leaks into the energy sector. It is worth knowing that many of the licenses were issued by José Ramirez and Rajiv Moquia. Both men are under custody for allegedly participating in a scheme to steal from Venezuela's energy affairs. So the two people that issued most of the Suncrisp licensing in Venezuela that gives companies and miners access to mine and do anything with crypto were the people involved with this oil scheme. So they're inspecting the network in Venezuela to make sure none of them are compromised and could potentially have anything wrong with them or have any stolen funds or anything. So that's all for the news. Very short night. Bitcoin dominance is managing to break out of our descending triangle, which is good for Bitcoin, and that could signal some upside for us if we continue this trend. Our stochastic is trying to make a curl for a somewhat bullish cross. If we can continue this, it'd be nice if it curl a little more strongly. It's still continuing downward action, so it's a little more bearish than bullish, but our RSI is kind of flattening out. Momentum wants to kind of make a curl here. Money flow is kind of iffy, so that's good that it didn't break too strong bearishly, but it's not really bullish right now either. Our VWAP is kind of flat, but it's in the bearish zone, trying to curl upwards. If we can get some momentum, we can get some strength here. We'll have to see what the next few days can bring, but Bitcoin has a decent pattern that could help us here. Our total market cap is trying to recover. We could possibly have a bit of a ascending triangle here. It had to extend really far out, so I'm not going to extend it out all the way. Or maybe more of a rising wedge here, actually. A rising wedge would be a bearish pattern. So if that were the case, we'll have to kind of see. If we do make a rising wedge, then that could break us down in our altcoins, and we could probably see Bitcoin take over. That's kind of how the cycle works. Bitcoin does, we're already breaking out of it. We had a wedge here on the 1 hour in Bitcoin that could take us to around this 27.6 level. So that is our slight bullish. This might be a goofy cup and handle too, which if it was, our neckline would be around here. If we broke with some goofy cup, that could possibly propel us even further to the 28K level. But if we don't get some sustained momentum from there, then we could roll back under and start to fall again. So, not guaranteed to happen. We'll have to kind of see how this this wedge plays out. But usually your wedge forms your handle. Usually that would have been right here. We could have maybe like a double handle or something. We'll have to kind of see what happens. But we'll start with the daily to analyze it. Over on the daily, we do have a bit of a hammer candle. It's a longer lower shadow. There's no upper shadow, but it's not a long lower shadow like textbook, because it would need to be twice as long as the body, and they're about even. So it's more of just a hammer candle. That could signal more downside. If we don't get like a bullish candle after this, if the next candle follows a bearish candle, then that would signal some more downside could come. Momentum's starting to fall, money flow is very weak, it's slightly bullish, our stochastic's trying to cross bullish, RSI is very weak right here, and our VWAP is trying to head up. So we are trying to move upwards, but it's very weak right now. So that's why I'm not too bullish on us right now. That's why I don't know if this will kind of play as a cup and handle. The 4 hour, you can kind of see a cup more clearly, and maybe an elongated handle. Our stochastic's kind of weakening, but heading downwards. It's trying to get a bit of a bullish cross and head back up, so it might regain some strength. RSI is heading up despite that. Our money flow is somewhat trying to recover, but overall coming out. Our VWAP is trying to break bullish, and our momentum is trying to break bullish, or head bullish, with a green dot that could confirm. So we do have the possibility for some bullish momentum. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic's trying to make a cross here. RSI is trying to head up. Momentum's trying to get a green dot and cross upwards. Our money flow overall is bearish leaning, but is trying to make some movement upwards. And our VWAP has a slight cross to the bullish side, so we'll have to see if that can gain some strength. Now if we go back to the 1 hour, stochastics are running up pretty decently. Our money flow is a little iffy, stochastics running up pretty decent. Momentum is coming up, had a green dot that printed and confirmed, and the RSI is heading up. So the 1 hour is getting some signals that could propel us forward. If those lead into the 2 and 4 hour, those could help push us even higher. That dominance is recovering, so those are all positive signs for us. On our futures, we did create a gap here at 27K. So even though we filled this gap that we had, we created another gap. So Bitcoin just can't seem to make a move without creating some sort of a gap. Normally, it's a gap because you don't have like a body. The body is technically down here. So we do have a gap that could bring us down, but we have some bullish momentum that could try to bring us back toward the top of this range. On Bitcoin, we'll have to kind of see what happens. So over on graph, we are bouncing off the bottom of our channel. So we could head back up, kind of like I suggested. Stochastic's trying to cross upwards. Money flow's trying to come back up. Our VWAP's trying to come back up. Our momentum's trying to come back up. Our RSI is falling. So everything's looking pretty decent like it wants to recover, but the RSI is falling and still losing strength there. Again, since we are in an up channel, this is a descending pattern. So even if we get back up here, it doesn't mean we're going to run to new highs. It means that we could fall back down and have a sell-off. That's not necessarily what will happen, but that's what statistically could happen. Our stochastic's starting to head down, but it is trying to make a bullish cross and head back up. So it is getting some strength here in the overbought zone, which is also the bullish zone. RSI is getting some strength here, bouncing off this neutral area. So that's good for us on the 4 hour. Our money flow is trying to cross bullishly, VWAP's trying to cross bullishly, and our momentum's trying to recover. So overall, we are trying to propel ourselves forward on graph. Over on the 2 hour, we have a green dot here that could help propel us forward. If it confirms, we have a stochastic cross for a bullish cross that could happen, and our RSI is heading up. Momentum's curling up, and our VWAP has a slight bullish cross, can't get the word out. So we have a slight bullish cross with the VWAP. Everything else is looking like we could get some momentum here. So we're looking pretty decent. If maybe the 1 hour money flow is getting close to crossing bullish. If that can get a bullish cross and stay bullish, that could lead into the higher time frames like we've said before. Stochastic's trying to run up, RSI is trying to run up, VWAP's trying to run up, and our momentum's trying to curl up. So looking pretty decent for some setup forward. We'll have to see if it can sustain. Over on Anchor, falling away from that volume value area low, and we're falling toward the other one. Kind of like we suggested, stochastic's trying to make a bullish cross, so that could try to save us. RSI is falling though, money flow is coming out. Our VWAP's kind of rounding off and our momentum's coming out. So not looking too good here for anchor, at least on the daily. The 4 hour, we're trying to get a green dot with the RSI heading up. Our momentum's trying to head away from the neutral zone. Stochastic looks like it could get a bullish cross. Our momentum's trying to curl upwards. So the 4 hours looking like we might set in some sort of local bottom here. On the 2 hour, we're getting a double green dot on our momentum. VWAP's crossing bullish. Money flow is trying to cross bullish. Our stochastic is heading up, and our RSI had a green dot and is heading up as well. So the 2 hours looking pretty decent. Over on the 1 hour, we could have kind of a slanted double bottom. Stochastic's heading up, RSI is heading up, money flow is coming up, VWAP's coming up, our momentum is coming up as well. Looking pretty decent. If this continues, it could lead into the higher time frames, medium time frames, and propel us forwards. Over on XRP, looking a little similar to everything else. RSI is falling, stochastic bullish cross, money flow doesn't know where it wants to be. VWAP trying to head up, momentum coming out, kind of wants to curl. So pretty much like everything else, pretty indecisive looking. Our money flow is somewhat flat, just above that neutral zone. So RSI is trying to head up, stochastic's trying to head up. Might get a bullish cross out of that. Momentum's trying to recover. Our VWAP's trying to recover. So we might get a little bit of a push forward. Could be a little bit of a small symmetrical triangle here, or rising triangle rather. In 2 hours, stochastic's getting a bullish cross, but money flow's starting to lose. RSI is trying to head up. Momentum could head up. Our VWAP's trying to make a bullish cross, so we'll have to watch if that money flow can dip back up. Over on the 1 hour, our money flow is breaking a little bullish, so that is positive for us, where our stochastic could start to wane here, and our RSI is flattening out, staying with our VWAP. Momentum was coming up, but it's kind of losing strength, so if we don't get some more bigger green candles here, we have a lot of doji candles, we need some real momentum to help propel us forwards. Last but not least, on Algo, very similar to everything else. RSI is flat but falling. Stochastic's trying to make a bullish cross. Money flow's coming out. So VWAP's trying to head up. Momentum's trying to make a bit of a curl. Over on the 4 hour, money flow's bearish. VWAP's trying to head up. RSI's trying to head up. Stochastic could curl and head up. Our momentum's trying to get a bit of a head up. So very similar to everything else tonight. 2 hour momentum got a green dot that could confirm, trying to curl upwards. Money flow's pretty flat, overall slightly heading up. VWAP's heading up, stochastic's got a bullish cross and is heading up, and our RSI is heading up as well. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic could kind of curl away. RSI is losing strength, money flow is bullish. Our VWAP is heading up, and our momentum's heading up with a double green dot. So if we can continue this momentum and our money flow can continue forward, we could possibly lead into the higher time frames and propel ourselves forward. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.